What's up, guys? Welcome back to my Etsy print on demand series for 2021. In this one, we're going to cover how to get your first 5-star review. This is very important because unlike Amazon, where product reviews are isolated to just that product, on Etsy, they review the shop, the seller. So if you get one review and you've got 1,000 listings, all 1,000 listings are going to have that 5-star review for you, the seller, displayed on them. It's going to be displayed in search results, which is going to help you appear more credible and increase that click-through rate. It's also going to appear on the product listing screens. So it's very important to get this first review. Now, what I'm going to show you in this video is how my girlfriend and I on her Etsy account, her new one, were able to get our first 5-star review on only the second order. So let's get started. Make sure you take advantage of my weekly print-on-demand giveaway. It's completely free to enter, and 2 lucky winners are selected every single Sunday. This week, sponsored by Flying Research, print-on-demand research tools, AutomatePOD, print-on-demand design creation automation, All-American Graphics, premium graphics for your designs, and Bubble Scout, the only Redbubble niche research and validation tool. You can find a link to enter in the description. Also in the description, you can find a link to my 8-day print-on-demand mini course delivered via email, completely free, and a link to my print-on-demand Facebook group. If you'd like to join, that'd be awesome. Reminder, this is part 6 of my Etsy print-on-demand series. If you missed any of the previous videos, it's recommended you go back and watch them in order. I'll put a link to part 5, the previous video, right here in the YouTube cards, where I talked about what to do if Etsy inadvertently closes your account so you can get it back and continue to sell. All right, so in this video, as promised, I'm going to show you how to get your first shop review. I mentioned earlier that when you get a shop review, it is applied to all of your listings and it's shown in search results. So the lack of a review actually looks a little weird from a buyer perspective because most shops have at least one. You know, once you have one review, it's there forever. Keep that in mind. So you can have one review, or like that first shop we see up there in the top left corner, 16,000 of them. But to the buyer, they're just seeing that subtle 5 stars in the search results underneath the shop name. So you need to make sure that you don't put yourself at a disadvantage and you get that first review. And I highlighted all of them in the screenshot that I took behind me in search results to show you that, you know, typically on page 1, it's flooded with products that have reviews. Now, this is the review that we were able to get on our second order. So it is from a customer named Sarah, and she said, "I am beyond happy with the quality of the t-shirt I purchased. It was exactly what I wanted. I purchased item as a gift for a friend and he's gonna love it. Shipping was fast and seller was very ... I think it was probably seller was very friendly and responsive, because she had reached out and asked us to change. I forget exactly what she said. I think it was like pre-ordering. She had reached out. I might have a screenshot actually. Yeah, right here. So she said, "Hey, Marielle, I'm interested in buying a t-shirt from you, but have a few questions. What's your delivery time? Also, what brand of t-shirt do you print the designs on? Last question, is this design screen printed? I would greatly appreciate your response." And as you can see here, I forgot to mention that we got the best kind of review, and the customer didn't have to do this. We didn't ask her to do it, but she went ahead and took a picture of the final product, which is definitely like the highest quality, best review you could possibly ask for, getting a 5-star and a picture of the product, because that's going to look good on all of our, basically every listing where this is going to be displayed on. It's going to be displayed right underneath the product itself. If you guys are unfamiliar with how Etsy kind of renders their listings and where they place each element on screen, it's really unique that they put the shop reviews typically right there in the left-hand column, displayed prominently underneath the images of the product. So here you go. This is how it actually started. The potential buyer had reached out. They hadn't made a purchase yet. And what we ended up doing was responding immediately. I had mentioned in an earlier video on Etsy in this series that Etsy customers or potential customers tend to be very active in that they are not hesitant to reach out to Etsy shops, and Etsy actually makes it very easy to contact sellers. I mean, guys, none of this stuff is coincidence. Like, go study how Etsy lays out a listing screen. They put a contact seller button right there in the right-hand column, you know, pretty prominently displayed and easy to use. So if you're going to sell on Etsy, you got to take that into account. That's how Etsy wants, I always want to say, it's how Etsy wants the game to be played. I always think of it as a game. You know, the game on Etsy is, as a seller, you need to be responsive to your customers, and that can ultimately lead to more orders, which leads to more reviews, which leads to more orders, which leads to more, you know what I mean? And it's like a snowball effect. So you want to keep that snowball rolling. So we responded, thanks for reaching out regarding your question. And by the way, notice I don't want to like get too preachy here, but I mean, I'm also a college professor that teaches web development, and I always make sure to say at least once throughout the semester, when you write emails, you know, it's okay to use the return key a couple times and not just write like one massive wall of text, because when you get a massive wall of text, what do people do? They tend to not read it. Now I have to read it if I'm on the receiving end in that scenario, but just the best practice. Anytime you communicate online, use the return key, put some spacing in the text, make it easy to read, make it concise to the point. And in this case, I copy pasted her questions and then put the answers underneath with a little distinction there. I drew a little arrow. Just saying those little things go a long way over time at scale, okay? What's your delivery time? I put, these are made to order and typically shipped out within 3 to 4 days of the order taking place. She said, what brand of t-shirt do you print designs on? I said, Gildan 64,000 typically. Then I put, key here, we could upgrade you at no cost to a Bella Canvas 3001 if you'd prefer, in exchange for a review, smiley face. And then parenthesis, my shop is relatively new and does not have one. And then last question, is the design screen printed? No, it's direct to garment printed, DTG, best, Marielle. So sign off. And, you know, I'm helping my girlfriend, Marielle, like kind of learn the ropes of Etsy here. And then I'm also kind of like screenshotting and documenting our whole process so that I can use it for a video series. We're also doing some Etsy content on her channel as well. I can put a link to it in the description if you want to follow along and hear her side of it from the, you know, first time perspective. All right. And then the customer said, thank you so much for getting back to me and answering all my questions. That would be amazing if you can upgrade the t-shirt. By the way, it's like to the end user that's on the receiving end that has no clue the difference between a Bella Canvas 3001 and a Gildan 64,000. They may, if you gave them both shirts, they may not know the difference. They may not know that one's more expensive than the other, or you know what I mean? But when you say upgrade, it's like a subtle, almost like subconscious check mark, like, oh, I'm getting something nice. I'm getting something extra at no cost. You know, it makes them feel, or I don't know, in my mind at least, it made it more likely that number one, she would convert and actually buy, and number two, might actually leave us that review, which both actually happened. So it's pretty good. And it did come at a $5 additional cost, because if you guys aren't familiar with Printful's base cost, the Bella Canvas 3001, I believe, is $12.95 base cost, and the Gildan 64,000 is $7.95. So, but anyways, back to what the customer said. I would love to leave a review and help your shop. I placed my order Friday. It's for a 3XL black tee I'm purchasing as a gift for a friend. He will love the t-shirt. Thank you again, Marielle. So ultimately this worked out. It was a win-win for both parties. If you guys are wondering if you need to change an order. So remember, we had pushed the Gildan 64,000 to our Etsy shop. In order to change the order after it comes through, you just have to wait. Remember how I said like 2 videos ago, you'll get an email from Printful saying, hey, we see your order. And again, they'll let you know if they don't recognize it or anything like that. If there's issues, in like the vast majority of cases, they recognize it and then they wait with it. It's typically about 24 hours before they begin fulfillment. When you get that email, you want to, as soon as possible, go to your order dashboard in Printful and click change. I think it's like change order. It might say change address, but you can change the order in there. When you make a change to the order, you can actually click edit on the product and change the Gildan 64,000 to a Bella Canvas 3001. It uses the same product creation wizard that you use when you create the initial product listing on Printful. So it's a simple swap. Then you just click next, confirm the update, and that's it. Then they know to use a Bella Canvas 3001 for that order specifically. And all orders moving forward, they will still use the Gildan 64,000. So it's just a one-off thing if you end up in this situation. And ultimately, it was worth it because now we have that 5-star review displayed on all of our listings. All right, guys, if you are not subscribed, you should definitely consider doing so, because in the next episode of this series, it's going to be part 7. We're going to cover everything related to Etsy personalization, everything you need to know to enable it, to fulfill the personalized orders in Printful. I'm obviously going to show you some hacks to make your life as easy as possible if you're going to fulfill the personalized orders. So you're not going to want to miss that one. Make sure you're subscribed. Before you leave, do me a quick favor, drop a like on the video for the YouTube algorithm. And just a reminder, I have a full print on demand course. It walks you through exactly how I make 6-figure print on demand sales every single year, including Etsy print on demand, but that's only one of the 10 modules covered in the course. By the way, the final module is all about how to fully automate your print on demand business. So there's a lot of interesting stuff like that in the course. All right, guys, thank you again for watching until the end. I will see you at part 7.